Welcome to the Voice of Autism Resource Hub. Today, we are excited to introduce a proposed technology incubator model focused on fostering 100 micro AI startups, specializing in inclusive education tools. This incubator targets the development of AI solutions specifically for autistic children, inclusive learning students, and university students with neurodiverse needs. The model's structure, emphasizing small-scale operations and the crucial role of expert co-founders like data scientists in providing technical guidance and mentorship.
Have you ever thought about technology not as something that's just launched, but as something that's grown? You know, like a delicate plant in a nursery. What if we could carefully cultivate our tech to help some of our most vulnerable learners? So let's kick things off with the big question that really frames everything we're going to talk about. What if we could build AI not just for the mainstream, but truly for every single kind of mind out there? To really get why that question is so urgent, we need to look at this number, 1 in 68. Now, it might seem a little abstract at first, but it represents a really profound and growing reality.
So where does that number come from? Well, the World Health Organization tells us that 1 in every 68 children shows signs of autism. And that's not just a statistic, right? It's a huge signal that there's this massive and frankly growing need for educational tools that are built specifically for them.
And that right there brings us to the absolute core of the problem we're exploring today, a critical, unmet need in our educational system. We're talking about the challenge facing neurodiverse learners. And that term just means the natural variations in how our brains learn, pay attention, and function, and the very real hurdles these learners face every single day. And you know, the consequences of this unmet need, they're stark. Just take a look at this next number, 85%. This figure really shows the long-term impact when that early educational gap just isn't addressed. That 85%, that's the estimated unemployment rate for neurodiverse adults. And look, this isn't about a lack of ability or talent, not at all. It's usually a mismatch between traditional jobs and their unique strengths. It just goes to show that when we don't provide the right support in those early years, we end up creating these profound, lifelong barriers to opportunity.
But what if there was a different way? Let's dive into a new model for building inclusive technology, literally from the ground up, one that's designed to be small, super agile, and incredibly focused.
So this new model is a special kind of technology incubator. And if you're not familiar with that term, no worries. An incubator is basically a support system for young companies. It's designed to help them grow fast and succeed by giving them resources, mentorship, funding, the whole shebang. What's so cool about this micro-incubator model is how it flips the traditional approach on its head. Instead of huge amounts of capital, we're talking small seed funds. It's all virtual and remote, not stuck in one central place. And most importantly, it's laser-focused on one single niche, inclusive education, instead of trying to be everything to everyone. This model, it's called Duong, which actually translates to nursery. It imagines this mini ecosystem of 100 tiny AI startups. Each team is small, under 10 people. But here's the absolute game changer. Expert AI engineers and data scientists don't just advise from the sidelines. No, they join these teams as co-founders, embedding their deep expertise right from day one. All right, so what could this AI nursery actually create? This is where we go from the big picture model to the actual tools that could have a real-world impact. This is the fun part. Just look at the kinds of solutions we're talking about here. Imagine a 24/7 virtual tutor that can actually tell when a student is getting stressed and adapts the lesson in real time. Or a game, a virtual farm, that teaches STEM concepts but adjusts itself for kids with dyslexia or ADHD. Or how about an AI career coach that helps neurodiverse students totally nail their job interviews? And look, this isn't just wishful thinking. The model lays out a really clear, structured process for turning these amazing ideas into actual, viable companies. It's a 5-stage blueprint for growing each one. So the journey for each little startup is really methodical. It all starts with validating the idea with real parents. Then you build the core AI with those expert co-founders. After that, it's all about testing the tool in real schools, launching it to a wider audience, and finally getting it ready for major growth. It's a complete launchpad from start to finish. And that hands-on approach is really the secret sauce here. It's what makes this whole model so powerful. These expert co-founders, they aren't just passive investors throwing money around. They are in the trenches, giving one-on-one mentorship, reviewing code, and providing that absolutely crucial data you need to train a good AI.
Okay, so a vision this ambitious, you know it's going to come with its own set of challenges, right? So let's take a really balanced look at both the incredible promise of this AI nursery and the very real, practical hurdles it would have to overcome.
So let's talk about the potential upside first, because it's pretty huge. The average startup in this space has about a 20% success rate. But this kind of specialized, mentored approach could potentially boost that all the way up to 50%. That's more than doubling the odds of success. And success here isn't just about the company. We're talking about real human impact. Research suggests that tools like these could improve social skills for autistic children by as much as 40%. And that directly helps tackle that staggering 85% unemployment rate we saw earlier by building foundational skills for the future. But of course, the path isn't easy. There are some serious hurdles to clear. Things like dealing with expensive child protection laws, competing with the big tech giants who are also moving into the space, and of course, being able to attract and keep those top-tier expert co-founders. Success really means navigating all of this carefully.
So all of this leaves us with one last big question to think about. Could 100 small, focused, and deeply nurtured ideas actually create one giant leap for inclusive education? You know, based on everything we've looked at, the potential is absolutely there.
Therapy quiz. Q1. What is the primary target demographic for the technology incubator's 100 micro AI startups? A. Companies developing high-capital edtech solutions for major universities. B. Firms that only select and customize existing open-source AI models. C. Ventures building AI tools for autistic children, inclusive learning students, and university students. D. Startups creating general-purpose AI for the Southeast Asian market. Q2. Which of the example AI tools is specifically designed as a gamified virtual farm to teach STEM concepts to K-12 students with dyslexia or ADHD? A. 50 Farms AI as a service. B. Read and Write AI. C. Tutor Career Guidance. D. Tutor AI Lifetime. During which stage of the 5-step formation process is a pilot program launched in 5 inclusive schools? A. Ideation and validation, months 1-2. B. Build and train, months 3-5. C. Launch and scale, month 7-9. D. Pilot and iterate, month 6. The Tutor AI Lifetime tool utilizes specific technologies to analyze user behavior and adopt lessons. What are they? A. Text-to-speech, TTS, and machine learning prediction. B. Large language models, LLM, and multimodal AI. C. Computer vision and reinforcement learning, RL. D. Natural language processing, NLP, and predictive analytics.
Announcement. First course for special education teachers, specialized tutors, parents, interventionists who want to understand the 40H model plus 100 combos of evidence-based interventions from EBI/EBP starting from 1/11/2025. Online and free. Online and free. Learners who know English, Japanese, Korean, please notify in advance. Subscribe to the channel to receive the link to the course link.
This presentation is produced by NBAI, AI for Autism, Job4autism, with executive producer Mr. Duong Lam. Thank you for watching.